Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Believe Breakthrough Show. We are so blessed today. We have Jenny McKenney with us. She is a comedian. She is a coach that teaches happiness. She teaches laughters and smiles. And as you know, it is October. We are in Spiritual Awareness Month. So you may say, well, why do you have that person on? Because she has an addiction to booby rocks just like me. So we're going to get into what that means.
Right. Yes.
So yes. Go ahead. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh yeah, so I'm Jen McKinney. I like you said, I'm a comedian. I'm a coach. I love to change mindset to help people open up to get to that happiness factor. I think a lot of times it's like it's in there, but they're maybe afraid. But I just love sharing laughter with the world, and that's really my passion and what I'm good at. And it's very easy for me.
And she's known for her high kicks.
Yes, I have a high kick. Pow!
So last night was a full moon. And before we hopped on here, me and her were talking. And I was telling her, oh, crap, I forgot to bring my crystals in.
Yes. Yes. So I didn't.
Crystals love more than a moon bath.
Right. Yeah. I do love going out and just kind of like, how you get like just when you face the sun and it just feels so amazing. And like, I love to do that in the moonlight as well. Gosh, last full moon, I went out and just sat in the lounge chair and, cuddled in the blanket and soaked up the little moon rays, which was great. But I wanted to emphasize too, like where the term booby rock comes from. So we talk about crystals, and so I didn't have a pocket at one time, and so I just shoved all my rocks in my bra. And so I can't remember if it was my daughter or my husband, but I took my I think I had taken my bra off in the bathroom or something, get ready for bed, and the rocks just blew all out. And one of them called them booby rocks. And so the term stuck. And even now, I think this one is not little either. So like I have this one in here, which is like,
oh, wow.
Yeah. And I mean, it's pretty big. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So some of them end up looking like, I have 19 nipples, which does not look appropriate, but it's which is real spiritual, and says like, hey, stay away from this area. So if it's repelling negativity, I know it's working, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you put those in your bra?
I have this love for crystal.
Yeah.
Oh, every time I put them in my bra, I put them in my pockets. I put crystals everywhere. I wear them as jewelry. Yeah. So yeah, I don't ever have a day where I'm not having a crystal somewhere on my body.
Yes, same. Or if I'm feeling kind of weird, I just go automatically and I'm touching my chest because I'm like, oh no, am I without? Because I have them like I keep them in my purse, so I put them wherever. And the other thing too is I'm not sure if you shared with your audience, I have a lot of people ask, well, how do I know which one I need? And I just tell them, run your hand over. So like if you go to the Booby Rock store, first of all, find a store that will let you look and touch, like get in there and kind of see which one that you're attracted to. Because I've been to some stores where they, keep everything behind the glass and you can't touch anything. That's weird. Yeah. So then I just go in there and I just put my hands right over the whole thing. And when my hand gets hot, that's the one I know I need. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing is I like to pick them up because when you go to a crystal store or a metaphysical store and you've got like this whole box of the same type of crystal, you're like, well, which one do I want? So I'll literally pick it up and I don't take the crystal until I feel a physical connection. So sometimes I'll feel tingling, or I'll need to use a bathroom, or a thought comes into my head, or something, but you have to feel that connection. I tell everyone, just like a man, you need to build your relationship before you take it home.
I love it. I love it. Oh, that's
So for
hilarious.
people who are unaware of crystals, right? I'm like, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
So for people that are, I'm going to pause you really quick because I've got a leg in this. I'm just
Sure.
going to shuffle us for a second, maybe.
Okay. I'm on hold.
I want everyone to be able to hear us.
Do, do, do,
Yes, maybe. Oh. I guess it's not working. All right, I'm not going to be able to fix it. Okay.
Okay, that's okay.
So for people that are unaware of crystals, why did you start using crystals?
Oh, so let's see. Probably, let's say, about 18 years ago, my daughter was going to see a spiritual counselor, and then she had crystals at her store. And so I'd go over there and be touching them all, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can feel this, like it'll run up my arm. Or while they were in a session, I would just be
complete audio. Hold on.
Oh, did you? Can you hear me now? Oh. We're on hold.
All right, let's try that again.
Okay, that's right.
So, it's better now. Okay, so your daughter was going to a spiritual advisor.
Yeah, so she was seeing a spiritual counselor, and while they were in a session, I would be touching the rocks, and she had books, so I would start looking the rocks up, and the crystal, and what did this mean, and what is this energy for? And that's really how I started to take off. Really, it was like an intuitive, I need this one first, and then it was just a feeling. But then once I realized, oh gosh, okay, so what if I have this? Can I go find this crystal for it? So probably the most intense thing that I ever did, though, is they were in a session, and I just was leaning back in one of her rocking chairs and just put like one of my, not this one, but a crystal like on my forehead, and just like did a little meditation. Whoa. Whoa. That was crazy. So right then I knew how powerful they were. So the other question I get too is, and I'm not sure if you've talked about this before, is how do I know that they work? But the thing is, like, because I believe it, that it works. And so that's why it works, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I've never been without them. So, and it always works. So
yeah, definitely. I was introduced to crystals. I was seeing a psychic medium to connect with. I had lost my daughter, my grandfather, and my mother-in-law all within 18 months. And so I was trying to find some closure on the loss.
Sure.
And my son at that time was having night terrors where he would wake up screaming. He was about 2.5, maybe 3 years old. And he was having night terrors. And he was saying, I see the black man in the corner of my room. That black man in the corner of my room, he's going to get me. He's going to hurt me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand it. I was talking to the medium about it, and she goes, it's not a black man, it's a black spirit. And I was like, what? And she goes, he's psychic and he's seeing a black spirit, and that's the only way he knows how to describe it. She goes, that black spirit is connecting to your son. You need a chunk of obsidian to put under his bed, because if you get that chunk of obsidian, it dispels negative energy and it will dispel that spirit from your son. And I was like, that's crazy. And so after like 3 nights of night terrors, I went to the crystal store. I bought a chunk of obsidian. First time I've ever really gotten into crystals.
Sure.
Gosh, it was like 8-9 years ago now. Put the chunk of obsidian under his bed, and spirit went away.
Nothing.
Night terror stopped. So then I was like, there's something to this. So then I started researching and practicing it. And now I'm obsessed. I literally use crystals on every single one of my clients. I teach people how to use them. In fact, I'm writing an entire course right now on the energy effect on physical ailments and moods and things, to help people understand how to properly use crystals for their body, for their health.
Nice. So, I love that. I feel like too, it's so awesome where it's, because I feel like everybody's like, oh, it's so new agey, and, they can call it what they want, which I don't even know what that means, but, it's just, I feel like if it's something that you believe in and you feel like it works, then I feel like too, also when I charge these, like when I'm, and somebody feels it, first of all, sometimes it'll violate your crystal, if somebody else touches it. because your energy is embedded into it. So sometimes I feel like when I share something or they touch it, not that it's infected for me, but I feel like it can be overpowering for them, because if my energy is like, wow, and then they touch it and they're like, this is a lot,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I have my personal crystals, and then I have my crystals I use for my healing clients. And so it's so funny because I'll charge my personal ones and I keep them up high on a special shelf so no one touches them.
Okay.
And one time my daughter was, oh, I love that crystal. So she got a stool and she climbed up to that top shelf, and I walked in just as she was touching. I was like, don't touch my crystals.
Oh,
What are you thinking?
Right.
Those are mine.
Yeah. So when I have some clients come over, say like if I have a coaching client or if I'm at like a comedy show and somebody's like, oh my gosh, I love that stone. I've been known to just let them, like, I feel like, well, if they're attracted to it, like maybe I can pass that, and that's like a little energy transfer for them. So I give that away, which is what we were laughing about before the show.
I don't give my crystals away. I do not. And I have a lot. I'm a crystal hoarder. So last night was a full moon. So I put all of my crystals out for a moonlit bath, and it filled the entire top of my hot tub cover. Like you can't even see my hot tub cover because I'm a hoarder. And so the last 2 weeks I've let people borrow crystals, and I have a sign out system because I want my crystals back.
Oh gosh, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine like, okay, I'm going to give you this one and here's your little checkoff chart. Okay. Like I'm going to get you my clipboard and then
like a library card, It's a library system.
I love it. Oh, that's so funny. So yeah, but I feel like, when you find a store too, sometimes it'll feel a little overempowering, like it's just overwhelming, because when you walk in there, it's a lot of energy, So is there anything that you have found that works for you, like energetically, to kind of dissipate that or kind of calm that down?
Question. So my first experience going in, having that energetic moment was I went into this 30,000 square foot crystal store.
Oh,
amazing, right? And I walk in and I literally get into the center of it, and all of a sudden I had to relieve myself. Like, oh my God, what in the hell is this? Right? And so I went to the counter, and they say, we don't have public bathrooms here, but this is very common. Oh. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, we can't let you use it. She goes, you know what? You just go. So she let me use the bathroom.
Oh my
God. But
gosh.
now I tell all of my clients because I have clients that are like, I want you to take me to the crystal store. So teach me how to get them, blah, blah, blah. Right. I'm like, you have to make sure to take a ginormous crap before I take you there because it will relieve, they detox, right? They detox. Yeah. And it's like an energetic detox. And the only way your body can get those toxins out fast is either through a skin rash or through relieving your digestive system. Yeah. And so I try to ground myself first.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I do, I have found that I do grounding exercises, and then I also do like expansion to where I don't, because before I used to pull all my energy in, and it would make me feel very claustrophobic, especially when you come into that bombarding, overwhelming energy, because it's a lot. I mean, even for somebody who knows how to like dissipate it, it's still a lot, like I'll get hot flashes or I think too, I might be picking up on other people's energy that's in there, so but I have found that expanding tends to help me a little bit. And we've found a store here that's a little bit smaller, and it's a little more personal. So their collection's a little bit smaller, but I feel like they have a great selection.
There's only 2 metaphysical stores in my area within like 30-minute drive. And so there you've got your 30,000 square foot warehouse type, which is amazing. Like for a crystal lover, it's like an orgasm in a store. It's amazing. And then you have your other store, which is very small, petite, like
Yeah.
a boutique style, but you
Sure.
only have like 30 crystals to choose from.
Oh,
And I'm
gotcha.
like, that's just like a tease. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want an appetizer. I want the whole entree. So I
Right.
typically go up to the 30,000 square foot store. But
Okay.
I'm in there for like, I definitely schedule myself out like 3 hours
Oh, for sure.
because you need time to develop a relationship, you know?
I feel like that's almost like a quantum leap anyway. That would be like,
Mhm.
you know, when you're just like mindlessly scrolling through Facebook and then all of a sudden it's like then you're like, "Oh my gosh." So I feel like when I go in there it's just a time warp. And
Mhm.
like I don't drink, smoke, I don't do anything like that,
Mm-mm.
but my husband knows when I go to the Booby Rock store or a gem show, it's game on. You know what I mean? Like I'm coming home with like, oh gosh, I'm like, he's like, are you putting that in your shirt? I'm like, it's this long. It's gonna be. It's like poking me in the neck.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, good times, good times.
Yeah. Also, another
Yeah.
thing that I like to do is meditate when holding crystals. You mentioned how you put it on your
Yes.
forehead.
Yes.
So a lot of people tell me, well, I can't shut my brain off. I can't meditate. And I'm like, well, just hold this crystal and see how you feel. So lots of times I'll have clients do meditations and experiment with different crystals while they're here so they know what crystals to go get.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
how,
Yeah, I would say actually some of the most intense meditations that I've ever had, I had a crystal in my hand.
mhm.
A lot of times I'll have a wand. Um, it, like shoot.
Is it selenite?
Well, I was just gonna say that, but I have another black one.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't even think what the name is right now.
Sugarite? Obsidian?
Shungite.
Shungite.
Yes. Oh gosh. Okay, so there was this one time that I did this one meditation. This was real crazy. And I think too it's in the environment has an effect. So I was at a meditation group, so we were all, you know, vibrating super high. And then the facilitator kind of calls everybody in, which then you can just feel the energy amp times 500. And
Mhm.
then we did this meditation and I actually came up out of my body. So you know, I'm like astral traveling
Astral
or
planing? Uh-huh.
yes, I'm out there without a body. And then I see my mom across from me and she doesn't have a body, but I could see that she had actually had cancer again and she didn't tell
Mm.
me. And but I could see it and I was really mad at it. Irritated, I guess, because like in a meditation, I don't think I would be mad, but I took it almost like on the Green Mile when he sucks up and then spits out the bees. That's actually, it looked like butterflies to me, and I vacuumed them all up and then I just like pushed them out as like sawdust, which was like so crazy. um but then we did find out that she had cancer, but it wasn't as bad as we had anticipated. So
Mm.
yeah,
That's amazing how the
crazy.
connection with crystal can like heighten your awareness. And I've done that several times where I've astroplaned out of my body with meditation with
Yes.
crystals and get answers to questions that I have or get shown what's coming and then it
Yes.
actually happens. And
Right.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh my gosh. Or you know, even when even doing a meditation, because I went to a class once and the facilitator had said, go back to your very first memory. And I was thinking like, okay, this is probably like last week or something. I went like back to the Stone Ages where I was barefoot and running on the rocks. And I mean, it was immediate. And I was even in the meditation, I was like, this is crazy.
Mhm. Yeah, when you see your past lives. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
So
my gosh.
and that's what's so cool about crystals because they've been around for millions of years.
Yeah.
And so they can connect with the energy from your past lives or from different ages that we're currently living in. And they can bring in the wisdom that you learned from those lifetimes into
Right.
this current lifetime. So then you all of a sudden you have all this knowledge in your head that you don't even know where it came from, but you know it's
Right.
fact.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I love that about crystals.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I just think they're cute. And even when our daughter was little, she's like, this is so cute and this is so pretty and I love this one. And then her friends would be, they would come over and say, I love this rock. Like, can I take it? And then, of course they take it. And but I have also found that children are very receptive to the energy from the crystals. So there's been times where my one friend's daughter suffered a tragic loss. Her cousin had passed away from the flu. They were 7, and it was her best friend, and they were in the class together, and she just couldn't sleep. She was scared to go to sleep. She was scared she was going to get sick. And so I went to the Booby rock store, and I got her a little pouch, and I kind of just meditated on what stones she might need, and I found her a cute little bag. And then it was the first night she had slept in maybe 6 months.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And then she had a little girl steal them from her gym class. Terrible. So I got her another bag, but still, like, you know what I mean? It just is it's amazing what the stones can do. And not only that, even if it just brings you a sense of peace, or it can be that just like a conduit for whatever you need it to be. It's all about your intention, really, too. And so people, a lot of times, especially friends now that I have, they're saying, can you teach me some of this stuff? I don't know. I don't have all the answers. All I can tell you is like what I think or feel about it.
Right.
That's really it. Or, my experiences. And I said, it's really about your intention. You can't do it wrong, Yeah, I mean, unless you're like out there putting spells on people, then not a fan. But
yeah, definitely. Yes,
I think that violates the Booby rock.
Absolutely. I think that everyone needs a little bit of crystals in their life. The energy is absolutely amazing in regards to crystals, and you're right, children do benefit from them. I feel like even more so than adults, because they're more open to it.
Right.
One thing that will stop the power of a crystal is doubt. So if you doubt it, if you don't believe in it, you automatically put up that block. So if you're going to sit there and say, yeah, this doesn't work for me, well, it's not going to work for you, because you're going to tell the energy, like, I don't want this. I'm not open to this. And so it's not going to work for you.
Yeah.
So that's one thing to know too. So
absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And that's it. It really is just putting your positive energy out there on top of it. I feel like it's almost like, remember the Care Bear stare when they were like, what I'm like beaming out there? I feel like a lot of times too that's like my beacon of like, the weird people and the misfits and the witches, or, whatever you want to be called out there. That lets them know that, like, I'm here, I'm your people, I'm your tribe.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, even though they were like, whoa, that lady had like 22 nipples over there. No, that was her Booby rocks. They were like, whoa, that was very cold in this restaurant. Like,
my gosh.
Oh gosh, you'll think this is so funny. So we were at a work function for my husband, okay, and it turns out he'll be funny with people that he knows, but like if he doesn't know you, he's not gonna just come out and give you all his humor. So he'll bring me, and then I just open it up, and then we all are laughing, right? So I run out of stuff to talk about, and I was like, well, does anyone else here have Booby rocks? And I just like put 15 rocks out on the table that the one guy was choking on his dinner. The one guy got up, he thought he was going to get sick because he was laughing so hard. The one guy almost wet his pants. He had to run off to the restroom. And then my husband's like, yeah, you should see mine. We call them jock rocks. So it's just funny because even if you don't know about them, I mean, you can always make a situation fun and funny, but like just to pull them out and be like, does anyone else have Booby rocks in here? And now every time we go to a work function, people are like, Jen, what Booby rocks do you have in today? And then they want to see them. And then it's just like such an awesome, like, it just high kicked the energetic door right open of like weird conversations. You know what I mean?
I could just imagine that. Who wants to touch my Booby rocks?
And then they're like, why is it so hot? I was like, it was just in my bra. It's against my skin. Hello. It's 98 degrees right now.
Oh my gosh. I have to say
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on today and
Yeah.
sharing your laughter with us
Oh my
and sharing
gosh.
your experiences. I
Good
could
times.
never talk too much about crystals. Absolutely adore
Oh my
them.
gosh. Anytime, I'd love to come back anytime, or any questions, or you know what I mean? Oh my gosh. I don't throw confetti. I'll just start like throwing out booby rocks. Yeah, I'm so
Awesome.
glad to be here. Thanks so much for
Yes.
having me. It was such a great
Of
time.
course. Yeah. You
Yeah.
guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Belief Breakthrough Show. If you want to learn about these amazing, awesome booby rocks, I am releasing a course October 15th called Re-Energize. And it teaches you not only about how to master the energy of crystals, how to properly clean them, charge them, and set intentions, how to choose the right ones, what to use them for, but it also teaches you about essential oils. It teaches you about meditation, how to run energy, and also EFT tapping, emotional freedom techniques. So it's going to be an amazing course. Go ahead and jump to my website, TinaEncarnacion.com, grab yourself a link to that course and get studying and changing your life with the energy that is among